So, yeah, I'm a software developer and retired software developer and cybersecurity consultant uh, in Denver, Colorado. And I have interest in rockets and EVs and all things uh, renewable energy related. Um, and yeah, I guess that covers me.
So, firstly, I saw you and I came to know about you when Elon Musk gave you the reply. Then I
Yeah,
contacted you.
yeah. I don't think I'd ever had more than two or three retweets and 10 or 20 likes on a post before. Then all of a sudden I have you know I don't know. It's probably up to around 15 or 16 million now. If it's they got the same thing got retweeted again this morning, so we'll see what happens. Uh, it's kind of funny how it just keeps on going. But yeah. I was in that tweet. I was talking about having driven 1,500 miles across uh, the U.S. state of Texas, uh, going down to Boca Chica, or Starbase as it's now known, to watch the Starship and Super Heavy initial launch. And I just kind of related my experiences and talking about just how great that was. While I rent Teslas all the time, that's the furthest I've gone. And so I really had a great opportunity on a long uh, expanse of a state to, do lots of charging and whatnot. So yeah,
So, are you investor in Tesla?
I am. I am. Yes. And I was actually at the shareholders meeting in Austin at the Tesla headquarters, uh, Tuesday. And
You
that was a great experience. So
you own Tesla?
do I own a Tesla vehicle?
Yeah.
Not at this moment. I actually have two orders in, one for a Model Y, and then one for a Cybertruck when it comes out. So waiting for all that to happen. Yeah. Uh,
So,
Go ahead.
yeah. So, when this interest on space starships happen?
Well, so I was 11 when Apollo 11, which was the rocket that took Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to the moon, uh, lifted off. And so I had been watching rocket launches since the time of Gemini uh, and then all the way through Skylab and then the shuttle days, and it was very sad when we stopped having manned missions. Uh, I One of the things I've done in the years after that, I worked with uh, about five other folks. One is a well-known planetary scientist, and we're studying the atmosphere on Venus using images from Mauna Kea, top of Mauna Kea volcano in Hawaii. Uh, we're trying to figure out why its winds do such crazy things.
And what else you do apart from software development or IT related things?
Uh, apart from that,
Apart from that,
uh, so uh, when I was in my uh, well, I've been a runner for many years, and then very avid competitive mountain biker once I moved to Colorado, and then I was a masters on a masters swim team for quite a while. Um, then I developed knee issues, and then so that kind of stopped some of the heavier working out, and I've had both of those replaced now, so I'm getting back into uh, biking and going on long rides, like 50 miles. So what would that be? Uh, about uh, 2/3. So what would that be? About 80 kilometers or so, I think. Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah. And I've got a dog. I'm single, and so we go out for our morning walks, and I get coffee, sometimes breakfast, and it's kind of a nice life at the moment. I don't have to work. I occasionally take small consulting gigs, cybersecurity consulting gigs. Although I'm thinking about doing Colorado, the state of Colorado where I live, is very forward, at least for a U.S. state, in pushing climate uh, legislation. And so there are a lot of changes that came out of this session's legislative session. And so I'm considering actually starting a little business to do some consulting for the businesses that this legislation will mostly affect.
but cybersecurity and software development is totally different from the interest that you have on space related things.
Right, right. Yeah, it's at the time when I was going into college, uh, the likelihood of being able to get a career in the actual things I wanted to do uh, wasn't as likely as it is now. And I lived in a small West Texas town, and so I just went the direction where I had an interest, and quite good and very. I had a very pleasant, very great computer science career developing software. But now, basically, that's going to go the way of of AI very soon.
And what is your observation about Elon Musk and his projects?
I think Elon, so Elon is a very controversial person, put that out there first. And I don't agree with everything he says, but he is he has an amazing vision. I think at his core, he wants to do right, and and generally all of his businesses are moving in that direction. I especially love everything that uh, uh, came out at the shareholders meeting this year. They're doing amazing things, and the company is poised to explode in ways that just uh, am very excited about. And it actually, that's part of my trip there, and being there at the factory and seeing the the robots doing their thing, and cars coming out off of the beautiful finished cars popping out every few moments was just incredible to see, and all the automation and whatnot. I just think it's just, if I were 45 years younger, I would do my best to get a job there, or maybe not 45, but 40 years younger. Yeah, I would really love working there, and it would be so aligned with my my values and protecting our planet and whatnot. In fact, I don't have a car right now. Here I've owned, uh, Tesla shares for quite a number of years, and I don't own a car right now. I had a very nice Audi A4. I got rid of that last year when the Ukraine war started, and Putin started, leveraging his gas oil supplies to attempt to prevent Europe from assisting Ukraine. And I'm just like, no, I am not going to give that turkey any kind of benefit for me. So I got rid of my car so that I would no longer be putting a single drop of gas in my car. So, yeah.
So you are into technology from long time, and you said your values aligns with Elon Musk's, the values or the vision that he has. So what made you to align with that, and is that intentional or it's unexpected?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I used to do a lot of mountain biking in Colorado. I have ridden all over the state in places where many people have not. I have literally cried because the scenery and the fragrances from all of the wildflowers while you're riding at 12,000 feet. I'm sorry, I don't have, it'd be like, what, something a little bit more or a little bit less than 4,000 kilometers in height. And so, yeah, I've seen all of this beauty up there, and I also know that I've also seen over the 20 or so years that I've been mountain biking and hiking and whatnot at high elevations, that we're absolutely seeing the effects of climate change on this insane beauty. And I just cannot fathom passing on this world without that natural beauty intact. And so I have to do everything I can to ensure that it's still there.
So sustainability, like environment related things that you said you are into this.
Yes.
So have you done anything?
And well, so getting rid of a gas car was one. My previous house, I had solar panels on there since 2010, and completely covered my usage of electricity during the time that I was there. And I was also put on some some community meetings to educate other people in my larger neighborhood area about solar, and brought together people from the solar installation industry, uh, state senator, and actual homeowners who already had solar and had been keeping meticulous statistics on their generation and usage over time. And so did a couple of those. I'm planning on doing maybe some more of those, but also with now we have much more advanced heat pumps. So I want to do the same thing, but bring in heat pumps and inductive cooking surfaces into the mix as well, to help explain why all of these things are worth making a change in your home for.
So while you are writing something and posting it on Twitter, have you thought that this is going to reach the richest person on this planet, and he's going to say you thanks, Dave?
No. I was just I was sincere about that. I am really psyched about Tesla, and I had an amazing experience. And it was, and the great thing actually was, part of my trip, I went to see some cousins who live up near Fort Worth, Texas, and they had never been inside of a Tesla before. And so not only did I let them inside it, but I also let them drive it as well. And, they were just completely shocked by the experience, and oh my God, and when my cousin saw that you never even touched the brake, and he's like, oh, I've heard all the brake, you use brakes all the time, or you go through brake pads quite a bit. I'm like, no, you never touch the brakes because it's regenerative braking. And so, it was a few days, it was a little bit after I got back from the trip, and then also, I'd been talking to one of my state senators, and it found out that they had added an additional $3,000 to the existing Colorado $2,000 EV rebate. And so that plus our federal rebate of $7,500 makes for a very nice, $12,500 off the price of the car. So I thought I'd kind of put all of that together in one post, and just because, I started out with, if people knew how great the driving experience was, could sell them at any price, and then ended with, well, here in Colorado, you can get $12,500 off of your car, and here's the Tesla image to kind of show that. So yeah.
So Tesla, and do you have time to know about SpaceX, Hyperloop?
Yeah, well, space was probably my, like I said, I had a long time, from the time I was 6, 7 years old, watching Gemini and Mercury and the Gemini, and although I barely remember Mercury, I definitely remember Gemini and Apollo, and then Skylab and whatnot. And so, yeah, I've been more focused, and I took astrophysics and whatnot in college, and so I was heading towards a very science and math-based future, but it was the all of the interests when I graduated were from companies that wanted me to write software for them. So, yeah.
So you learned maths and science, but you fixed with maths, but you still have a fascination about science, which is physics, like which comes to Tesla or SpaceX.
Well, it's both, right? Because they're doing amazing things with those cars. The materials science that they're doing with the motors, with the batteries, uh, the aerodynamics of the cars, and and the safety. People don't. A lot of people don't realize that these cars, because they have been crafted by using some of the same engineers from SpaceX that know how to build, rockets that are going to uh, that, as we saw, a few weeks ago, even when you try to blow them up with explosives, uh, they hold together way too long. SpaceX is going to have to fix that. They did, but I'm quite sure all of the folks who are in charge of the structure of Starship and Super Heavy were patting themselves on the back when they saw that the charges had exploded. They had huge holes in both sets of tanks, but the pressure was so high that it couldn't ignite and cause the explosion until it got much lower in the atmosphere.
And what do you say about Hyperloop and Neuralink?
Oh, what? I think Hyperloop is a great idea. Uh, I would love to have something like that here in Colorado. We have quite a bit of traffic, and if we had something that would take us up into the mountains with our bikes and skis and whatnot, that would make a whole lot of people very happy. Because right now, the only downside to biking or skiing in the mountains of Colorado is the traffic to get there. And there's not really a train. There's one that you can take to one ski town. But if you want to get to any of the others, you have to drive. Or take a very early, very slow bus. So it's, yeah.
So you said that if you was younger, you wanted to work in certain position. What is that position, and how do you think that you can do better than people who are already doing that?
Oh, I didn't say that. I think, well, I have had quite a bit of experience, uh, but I am I'm quite impressed with all the employees at Tesla. When I was at the factory for the uh, for the tour, I talked to a number of different employees, some that had nothing to do with the tour. They were on the line, getting these uh, Tesla Model Ys out, and and everyone had just a great attitude. And it's like, yeah, this is a place where someone would want to work. And, I through my long software development career, there are many projects where I worked late into the night, many times. You know, uh, spent weeks working 80 to 90 hours a week to get a project out on time. And I look at, well, many of the companies that we did that for are either no longer existing or they've completely changed, whatnot. Uh, or it just really didn't make that much of a difference. But to work for Tesla, where the corporate mission is to accelerate the transition to renewable energy. I mean, that is their stated corporate mission. That so aligns with my desire to see a better planet.
So you're observing this person who is doing something for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the planet, and you're observing what his impact is on the planet, and how his contribution is creating energy on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So what you say about it, in whole, his ideas and his ideology that you are observing, and mainly the Tesla that you are into.
As a whole, I think, he's absolutely right on all of those things. We do need to have a planet B because you don't know when there's going to be an asteroid or something that impacts the Earth and wipes out all of life. You don't know when there's going to be a global pandemic or whatever. So we do need to have a plan B, a planet B, for more humorous ways of saying it. We need to get this planet transition to EVs. Not only are they not just EVs, but to renewable energy. And so they are on a steep, I should say steep to your view, acceleration on creating all the Megapacks and Megapack XL storage devices, so that those will replace entire peaker plants that currently have to be, a lot of times, or coal or natural gas, and have to be spun up to handle the load at when all the air conditioners kick in or whatever. So, yeah. And then, certainly a lot of cars just sitting on highways running, sitting still, running their engines. They need to, if they could go from one end of the town to the other, or if here in Colorado we could, be whisked off to our ski resort or bike trailhead of choice via the Boring Company, or if with Neuralink, folks who have lost limbs or have lost the ability to move their limbs can now have those activated with Neuralink, then that's all great. And then on Twitter, despite all the naysayers, I think he's actually doing a really good job. Just they've been rolling out new changes every other day, just about. There have been some bumps in the road, but I tell you, having written lots of software, to make as many changes as they've had and the system to be as stable as it has been is truly a miracle. Because, I know there are a lot of people who are non-technical who will complain and, say that it's awful and all this stuff. But the people who actually have developed software, just seeing all the changes that they've implemented, I think doing the right thing, making the algorithm open source, toughening up the cybersecurity of the platform, all of the encryption that's been rolled out to our DMs. I was horrified when I found out that the DMs were completely open for anyone within Twitter rather, to read. And not that I had anything that I wouldn't put on out in public in general, but it just, from my cybersecurity and privacy background, that was wrong. Yeah.
So he always says AI is more dangerous for humans, and AI is more dangerous than nukes.
Yeah. And coming from, I understand his viewpoint. I'm not 100% convinced that, well, yeah, the difficult part is it is very difficult to define consciousness, and they only become really dangerous once they achieve some level of consciousness. But how do you define what consciousness is? Right now, you can ask Bard or some ChatGPT invocations a question, and it will go out and figure out what things it needs to do to answer your question. But that's all, and what it actually requests of these other services, is not something you specifically requested, but it believes that are needed. So there's already some danger that it could decide it needs to do something that is unfortunate. And the reason that it's more dangerous than nuke is that once if it has consciousness and it wants to conduct something evil or whatever, then it would it could do it so fast that we could not react. We would not have the time to unplug it before the damage would likely already be done. So I don't think we've ever had a threat like that as a species. So yeah, I just don't know when we will get to the point of there being a sufficient consciousness where it has the agency to do these things on its own. Yeah, and yeah, there is certainly fear there, and certainly or concern there, and there's that is justified, and we do need to have some sort of way of monitoring what people are doing with it, because with Moore's law making computers ever more powerful, it's going to and cheaper. We're going to see it just anyone will be able to own a computer and host what is now hosted on very large computers. One day we'll be having it on our laptops or our phones or whatnot. The changes I've seen in my lifetime from before computers really are the very most basic computers through working, pre-internet, and then the internet came along. I was working in computer science through all of that and have seen, the very earliest days of the web, and now Web 2 and then Web 3 coming, or here or whatever. Never say never, because if one person has an idea, they can go out and figure out how to do that. These days, there is a world of information at your fingertips with the internet. So, and you get a few people together, and that's very powerful, for good and bad. But yeah.
So in order to understand this more better, let's go a little deeper into this. You are into cybersecurity and you are into technology from long time, and
Right.
you are seeing how things are happening, how the evolution happen in the technology. So this 100% AI that Elon Musk is mentioning, which is extremely dangerous. So when it comes to the controlling power and security related things,
Yeah.
today we are on this planet. All the countries are interconnected, never like before, because of the internet, because of the software products or services that we have today. Today we are talking on Skype
Right.
like this. This was not there 30, 25 years or 30 years back. But today people are interconnected. Different country people, different thinking people, different religious
Absolutely.
people, right? Connected, and the more contribution is coming, the users, the computer users, internet users, and
Mm-hmm.
the productivity has increased in last 5 years, especially in cloud. That's why the reason the cloud companies are investing so much. These data centers are interconnected and sharing the information from one part to other part. So you know how things happens in this data centers, information transmission, and because you see the attacks and the negative things that happens, the intruders try to steal the information or to do something disturbance. The security related things, you are deeply into it.
Right.
So when it comes to AI, you are seeing what negative things happening in this uh, present internet system on the planet between countries. So if 100% AI comes, do these country people from different parts of the world are able to, experts like you, cyber security experts, can able to control that AI?
Uh, I don't know. I'm. Um, I suspect not, because well, the weakest link in most organizations uh, is always the human link. So, uh, if a human responds to an email, has or they have lacks physical security uh, that allows someone to allow a bad actor in somehow, uh, you know, we've seen misinformation and whatnot being used to convince people of all sorts of crazy things. So, you know, I yes. So answer is yes. I think we would not well, or actually the answer to your question would be no. We would not be able to prevent if that from proliferating worldwide if it's at all connected to the internet. If it all has access to the internet. And you could I think it would be difficult because if it truly is able to utilize all the tools that we've seen utilized by some of the bad actors, it could create very convincing emails or text messages, what have you, that convince someone within an organization to let it in. And once that happens and it's there, it just jumps, and we have way too much of our infrastructure, our electrical infrastructure, and food supply and whatnot, all depends on information that is gleaned off of the internet and can be controlled across the internet. And once those controls are breached, it wouldn't be a good thing.
So, do you think in present day technology that you're observing or the applications that you're observing in the internet, do you think those have that ability or capability or capacity to understand the emotions of humans?
Not currently, no. The technology?
Yeah, the algorithms.
Yeah, no. No, that would, that's, and so, right, no.
Because this is the major part in AI.
What's that?
This is because understanding the emotions of human beings is major part in artificial intelligence.
So really understanding and just understanding to a surface level are two very different things. So surface understanding, oh, Dave is mad. Oh, Dave is happy. Yes, those things could be understood. Just like the sky is blue, the road is clear. But I don't know that humans are very complex creatures, and so for an AI to really understand all those complexities across all of the different peoples of the world and whatnot, I think it would be very hard. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be impossible sometime in the future, but I don't see that as something that's a possibility now.
And what
I may be wrong. Yeah.
And what are your values that are similar to Elon Musk?
Believing in our that we need to protect our planet, we need to protect consciousness, that we need to protect truth. As the saying goes, a lie has made its way around the world before truth gets its pants on in the morning. So we really have to examine what is true and what is not in our world. And I do believe that is not an easy task, because we have so many different compelling and convincing arguments for what is true and what is not.
Do you believe that aliens exist? Do you believe that there are other creatures or species apart from us are living?
You know, if you had asked me that 5 years ago, the answer would have been yes. And been simply because there's so many billions of stars with, tens of planets and whatnot. Now we know that there are even more than what we even thought there were back then. That said, we've not seen any existent proof of that, and that's actually not such a big deal. But we've learned that it's so difficult to actually get that spark of life, and then for it to continue having the conditions that allow it to progress into some level of intelligence. So, do I believe that there's bacteria out there? Yes. I absolutely believe that there's probably bacteria or some sort of simplistic form of life. Do I believe that maybe there are other planets with more advanced life? That's where I don't know. I think, so who knows? I think it's having those conditions that allow simplistic single cell or few cell life to multiply, to transition to more advanced forms. I think that's a very difficult thing, and for the conditions on that world to continue to support that long enough for all of this to happen, I think we were lucky as a species that we came after the dinosaurs, because we could have been wiped out as well.
And what do you say about these advanced species who are thinking about space exploration?
The advances for space exploration?
The advanced species, the advanced human beings like Elon Musk or NASA, or people who are working on space-related projects. What do you think about them, and what do you say about that work?
I love watching it happen for my eyes. I mean, it's, I was a Star Trek. I watched the original series. I would run home to catch it when it came on, and I, have always loved that view of the world, and I hope there are other species out there. I don't know if there are or not. I think it's far less likely than what we thought in the past. But I absolutely I follow NASA spaceflight. Every time they put out a new video showing what's going on down at Boca Chica, and really enjoy watching that. In fact, that's what I was watching when we started this call. So,
do you want to go to Mars?
I don't know that I want to go to Mars. I want to go to the moon. That's only a few-day trip, and spend a couple of weeks or a week bouncing around on the moon. That would be a blast, and seeing the the stars with no atmosphere in between you and them. Oh my God. I can't, all of my science, astronomy, physics, you know, learnings and interests would just be on pure fire. I would just, it would be the dream of a lifetime. And the fact that, if we get Starship working the way it is supposed to, and we start seeing the upmass being as much as they're talking about, and the cost is low because it's fully reusable, we could be talking about a trip to the moon that wouldn't be more than about $2,000. At some of the most optimistic, you know, uh, costs. I think currently it costs about $10,000 per kilogram. If that goes down to $20 per kilogram, as some people have thought that it might, I think that's probably a little bit too low. But so let's say even $100 a kilogram. That makes making that trip very, very likely.
So if this video reaches to Elon, what do you want to say?
Good job, dude. Keep focusing on the technology and saving this planet. I'm here for you for that, 100%.
So at last, as a person who is into different things, who is interested in exploration, what do you say about my exploration? I'm doing exploring minds.
Yeah, I like that. And great questions, by the way. I looked at your YouTube channel and saw the breadth of the folks that you've had on. Well done. Yeah, uh, I like that a lot, actually. Uh, yeah, very good.
Do you think this experience talking with experts, different experts from different parts of the world who are into different professions, not only technology, I am a DevOps engineer. I did masters in software engineering, also bachelors in computer science and engineering. Right now I'm doing AWS DevOps engineering work, some projects from UK and all. So apart from this, I'm exploring, I also interviewed people who are from NASA, like a couple of people who are experts from NASA. I also try
Okay.
to know their work and what they are doing. So with this kind of work that I'm doing, trying to know different thoughts and different perspectives from different people from different places on the world. More than 100 country people I have interviewed. So with this experience, do you think that I have ability or capability to work in SpaceX or Tesla?
Yes. I, you know, uh, well, so Tesla received, what was it, like 2.4 billion resumes last year? Uh, but I think you certainly have a very compelling communications. Uh, Communicating with so many different people from so many different backgrounds will give you a viewpoint that will allow you to speak and communicate with so many different people that you would meet and work with at a company like SpaceX or Tesla. So I think that is absolutely key. Chris G from NSF, his handle was Chris G NSF, is now Chris G SpaceX. He went to work doing internal communications for SpaceX. So, you can probably do something similar.
Please put a word about me if there is possibility.
I don't really have, I'm a long ways away. But if I get the opportunity by some chance, I would certainly do that. Yes. Uh, yeah. Yeah. But when I was at the shareholders meeting of Tesla, I made the same comment about, if I was 40 some odd years younger, I would definitely try to go to work there. And the guy I was talking to, as it turns out, works in recruiting. And he said, "Oh no, there's no age limit here." And I'm like, "Yeah, but y'all move way too fast for me these days." So, when I was closer to your age, whatever that may be, I could go all day and be completely sharp. I need a nap now in the afternoons. It's just the way we age, So, but yeah, no, I think if you have a lot of interest, then you should definitely reach out. Where are you physically located? Like
I'm from Hyderabad city, South India.
South India. Well, I'm guessing have seen, it sounds like Tesla may have a factory there soon, or is in discussions or something for a factory in India. So that would be easy, but also, if you get a job with Tesla, then you can always get into the U.S. So that's no problem.
It's really an honor for me to ask you some questions and actually get you to my show. Actually, I interviewed so many people. Like I'm a very close observer of Elon Musk from long time. I'm observing his projects and even my values and my thoughts are similar about the planet. That's why my channel is also like it shows the planet beside my face. I'm putting planet and I'm exploring the minds of different country people. So it aligns with him. So I got the same person and who actually uh, uh, who actually got posted by directly with that expert, the world expert. So I didn't thought that you would give reply and you will say like, yes, I'll come, I'll talk. So I told to my mom that, I'm going to talk with a great guy today who actually, reached, Elon Musk.
You're very kind. I'm not the only person he's ever retweeted, and it was certainly, I didn't write it as an advertisement for Tesla. I was really just, well, not exactly. I mean, I did include, like the page off the ordering site on there. So, but I was more trying to make a point that, the prices have come down so much, and everyone thinks Teslas are so expensive, but they're about 30,000. Especially with the incentives, they're about $30,000 less than I think what most people think they are. So, yeah. But anyway, no. I'm nobody. Yeah, I'm just a dude in Colorado who likes to do lots of things. And I was very, very excited when Elon tweeted that, and shocked, absolutely shocked.
So
now I'm going to go for another one. No, that was a joke. So just so it wasn't clear. But yeah, yeah. Well, keep at it. And if you, I've got a good friend who's from the UK who came down, was my plus one to the shareholders meeting, and he would say, follow your wants, listen to your wants, and take action on them. Because, generally if it's, and the type of wants we're talking about are not like going and getting ice cream, or something, some dessert, but more, in your space, at your age. I mean, I really wish I was talked out of going into a lot of the space side of things by my parents and whatnot. Who do you think you are trying to be an astronaut or trying to, build rockets or whatever? Don't listen to those people. Take a chance. You're young. If you screw up, no big deal. You haven't lost that much. You're young. You can react so much easier and quicker. It's better than getting my age and going, damn, I really wish I had listened to my desires back then and had done the things that were truly my desires. I mean, writing code, it was interesting. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the thing that I really wanted to be part of. And what I see with Tesla and SpaceX is those employees that are there, the ones I spoke to, they absolutely love and believe in the Tesla mission as well as SpaceX's. And so do the things you love. No, as my friend in the UK likes to say, be really listen to the things you want, the things you desire. We get in trouble when we allow other people to move us away from the things that we would really love. Truthfully, I would have loved to have gone in, kept following down the path of astrophysics and, learning how to build rockets and whatnot. But my family thought that was a crazy idea. And so, they thought the computer science was a crazy idea back then too, but at least I could show them that was real. So don't let people, if you really want to work for Elon at SpaceX or Tesla, go for it. You will be very happy, and when you get to my age, it's not so easy to correct for these decisions we've made so far back. But, if it doesn't work out, you're young, you'll recover. So go for it.
That's great advice. Definitely, I'll keep in my mind there. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Absolutely.
Also, can I put this audio and video clip on my podcast, website, internet, social media, everywhere with your permission?
Yes.
Do you want to share your social presence to my podcast listeners?
Oh, I'm Dave Wolf USA. So DAVEWOLF USA on Twitter.
I'll share the link in the description also on the screen. People who finds our video on YouTube or anywhere in social media can see the work that you're doing and can follow your tweets and your thoughts about things.
Sure. That'd be great.
And also I'll put your biodata and with your picture in my website as well. People who finds my website can learn what you did and can see can reach out through my website too.
Sounds great. Yeah, happy to do that. I'm just there's there are a lot of other people they may want to reach out to, but I'm happy to answer questions where I can. But I don't have any special insight or special access or anything. I have the insight I have from many years of being curious about many things. So
Yeah, thank you again, Dave, for your valuable time.
my pleasure. You have a great day, evening in your case.
Yeah,
Sleep well.
You have a great day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.